Technology is very beneficial and essential in all classrooms. One form of technology is an audio slideshow. An audio slideshow is one of the simplest and easiest forms of multimedia storytelling. In this form of multimedia, pictures truly do tell a story. This makes it a very effective and useful use of technology in a classroom. To give you a better idea as to what an audio slideshow is, I will now show an example of an audio slideshow previously used as a student's project.
The development of the Americas is directly related to the force used by colonists from Europe prior to the 1600s. Because of this force, war broke out among many indigenous tribes and the well-organized forces from Spain. During these times of war, a vast diversity of tactics and weapons were used. Among these weapons was the macahuitl. The macahuitl was 3 to 4 feet long and 3 inches wide, with a groove along either edge, into which sharp-edged pieces of flint or obsidian were inserted and firmly placed into the grooves with some adhesive compound. The rows of obsidian blades were sometimes discontinuous, leaving gaps along the side, while at other times the rows were set close together and formed a single edge. Some forms also consisted of blades on one side, or some were two-sided and could be used for slashes made in both directions, keeping the wrists facing the same way. Primarily, the macahuitl was used for war and war only. The macahuitl was such an effective weapon against the opposing forces that it was solely designed and used for war.
Now that you have a better idea as to what an audio slideshow is, in the following, I will use an audio slideshow to present how to make your own and how to incorporate one into a classroom. To begin with, you must first choose an application that you would like to use when making your own audio slideshow. Two popular choices include Prezi and the application that I chose to use, iMovie. The following clip will depict how you can use Prezi to create your own audio slideshow.
You make presentations to share ideas, showcase work, or even to persuade your audience to do something. But what used to be a great opportunity has turned into a dreadful experience for you and your audience. The reason? Boring presentations. That's where Prezi comes in. In Prezi, you create and present your ideas on a large canvas like a whiteboard, instead of traditional slides. You can easily place ideas, images, and videos and arrange them in a natural flow to tell your story. When you're presenting, Prezi lets you zoom in to emphasize a detail or zoom out to see the big picture. Now the audience can see the whole story as well as the details, and they're more likely to remember your work, ideas, or be persuaded to do something. The best part? You can start a Prezi now for a presentation you have tomorrow. In just a few clicks, you can bring presentations back to life.
Now that you have an idea of what Prezi has to offer and how you can use it to create your audio slideshow, I would like to give you an example of how you can use iMovie to create your audio slideshow, which is the application that I am currently using. As you can see, this is what you have seen so far on this audio slideshow in this area right here. Now, to add a new image to your audio slideshow, it's simple. You need to save it to your desktop here, and then just find it, click, and drag in. Now, what you need to know here is to include your audio. You click on this microphone symbol here, and you click it once, and it'll come up and ask you to start speaking, at which point you can stop it by simply clicking again. Now, you can adjust how long your images last by clicking on this gear and clicking Clip Adjustments. Here's the duration. For example, if I want it to last 14 seconds, I'll just put in 14 and click Done. And it makes the image here bigger, which resembles how long it'll last. Now, if you would like to adjust how the image moves, you go to the cropping, and it's very simple, pretty self-explanatory. You just drag where you want this to go. The green is where it starts. Let's say I want to start it here and end it here, that large. It'll even show you an example of how you want it to be done. few other cool aspects of iMovie that you could use, such as this text here. You can actually add text into your images. You can float them across the screen. You can do anything imaginable with the text. And that's pretty beneficial as well. However, the last thing that you'll need to know when making an iMovie is how to export it or save it. First of all, there are a few different things that you can do. You can share it to iTunes, YouTube, and to other places as well. The easiest would probably just to be simply export it to movie. And that, you just click here, you type in what to export it as, which is the file name, and you click how you want to export it, the size that is. The larger you go, the better imagery it is. The smaller it is, the smaller the file, the less video quality it is, but the more you can probably do with it. I usually just go with a medium because it's not overly big, it's not too bad of graphics, and you can do the most with it. As you can see, you can put it on your iPod, you can export it to YouTube at any time. You can use it on your computer and TV, so I just usually go with a medium. While it may not seem difficult to select pictures and apply words, it is much easier said than done. Rather than simply selecting random pictures, it is very important to select images that are relevant to your topic and that flow in a sequence. An audio slideshow should make sense as it progresses, and the words being spoken should correspond with the pictures being shown. Furthermore, the words being spoken must be clear, easy to understand, and not boring to listen to. Now that you have an idea as to what an audio slideshow is and how to create one of your own, it is important for us to discuss how you can incorporate audio slideshows into the classroom. Incorporating an audio slideshow into a lesson is not only beneficial to students, but can prove to be beneficial to the teacher in the future. This is true as you can develop a library of slideshows that can be used in years to come. This will save time in planning, time that can be dedicated to developing other ways to enrich a lesson. There are many different ways that you can incorporate an audio slideshow into your classroom. First of all, the most obvious is simply using it as a supplement to a lesson. Audio slideshows meet the needs of visual, linguistic, and interpersonal learners. It also meets the needs of rhythmic learners, assuming that there is music within the slideshow. Audio slideshows can easily be brought into an interpersonal level simply by creating discussion about the topic of the slideshow. Another way to incorporate an audio slideshow into your classroom is by giving an assignment to your students to create their own audio slideshow. You can do this in many different ways, including using it as a jigsaw assignment. Furthermore, you could assign it as a project within a lesson, requiring students to present their topic in an audio slideshow. I hope that this slideshow has provided you with enough information to encourage you to incorporate your own into your classroom. Using both iMovie and Prezi will prove to be useful in creating your own, and I assure you that using audio slideshows in a classroom will be fun for both you and your students.